Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder for SportsNoah.com. This is our first NBC weekend preview. And a big weekend it is. We'll start with high school baseball and the 5A state championship, which are taking place at Tulane's Turchin Stadium for a second straight year. And it's great to have the state championships in 5A here again. And we have 3 area teams that are participating. Friday at 4 p.m., Hunville, the 15 seed against the 10 seed Archbishop Rummel, and then the 7 o'clock game featuring 5th seeded Jesuit, the defending state champion, against the number 4 seed Bird. Lenny, as a result, attendance should be very good.
Yeah, you would think so. You're guaranteed of course, you got 3 teams playing in the 2 late games on Friday. You're guaranteed of at least 1, if ideally not 2 teams on Saturday. And how great would it be if the Rummel-Hanville winner plays Jesuit for the state championship on Saturday night? You could have, pretty close to a packed house, I would think, at Tulane for that one.
Yeah, we have capsules of all the games in 5A, but in every class in my blog at sportsnola.com that you can read today and leading into the weekend. And as far as the brackets are concerned, to me, very clearly, the upper bracket is the tougher side of the bracket. Barb, traditional power, the number 1 seed in Dutchtown, who's playing as well as anyone, if not better than anyone, with 2 outstanding pitchers, have to face each other in the quarterfinals. Some people feel these are the 2 best teams. And then Jesuit playing Bird. Bird has some really good players, including Tulane signee Richard Carthon, and they can run. And Jesuit, of course, very good pitching as compared to the bottom half of the bracket. Lafayette was there last year, and they've done a really good job to get back. Maybe not as talented. Acadiana has striker Trahan, but they are a team that, again, is good but not great. And then, of course, Hanville's won 18 straight. They're the hot team coming in, and Rummel has the pitching. So, realistically, it looks like the top half is the tougher side.
I agree with that. If there's one prediction that I will make, and I seemingly bring this up every year at this time, the format is flawed. And with 8 teams trying to play 3 games in 2 days, when you don't do it in any other of the six other classifications that are just playing semifinals and finals this weekend. The one prediction I will make is that some Friday starter whose team is playing in the championship game on Saturday is going to come back and pitch on Saturday. It might be an inning, it might be 6 innings. We don't know, but somebody's going to come back and do that with a pitcher who says, "Oh, I'm fine, coach, I can go."
With a very shaky weather forecast for Saturday, it could well end up over 3 days anyway, so stay tuned where that's concerned. And speaking of tune, you can tune in every game involving Hanville, Jesuit, and Rummel will be on WRBH 88.3 FM and WRBHradio.org. Every single game, so for all of you Hanville, Jesuit, and Rummel fans, you'll be able to follow your teams throughout the state tournament there. And, of course, we'll have a link at sportsnola.com. College baseball, Tulane has played their way right back into good shape with the NCAA. They have to get higher, Lenny. 49 is not good enough, but they've got Houston, and this is a team that they're going to have to beat.
Yeah, what's interesting, it's kind of a catch-22 for Tulane. They're playing over the last 2 weekends the 2 lowest teams in the Conference USA standings in Houston and Marshall. That's not going to help their RPI. They've got to keep winning, but my blog that'll be up Friday morning at sportsnola.com, it's the situation that Tulane's facing is, according to those numbers, Tulane can't get any higher than 45, at least at the end of the regular season, based on the fact that you're playing teams that are in triple digits in the RPI. On the other hand, a team that they might be competing with for a spot just up the road, Southeastern, they can get there by running the table. They've got a huge series just up the road from Tulane against Sam Houston State, first place in the Southland Conference on the line. So a couple of series to keep an eye on this weekend. Besides what's going on in Baton Rouge, LSU and Vanderbilt, LSU's in. They're playing for a national seed at this point.
Yeah, they really are. Vanderbilt was great last year. They're not great this year, but they're solid. So, again, this is a big series, and LSU cannot slip up. They have to finish in the top 3 in the SEC to have a chance to host a super regional.
Well, that, and what is ironic in all of this, is LSU can actually help Tulane and Southeastern's cause this weekend. Vanderbilt is right at 500, but they have done enough that they could probably get an at-large bid if they finish 500 or better this season, and LSU can go a long way in keeping them from reaching 500 with maybe a series sweep.
And, of course, finally, the latest on the Bountygate situation, Anthony Hargrove now saying he wishes what he said hadn't been released. I mean, come on, do you honestly think that somebody's not going to leak that?
No, it's interesting, all of the backstories that we're seeing in all of this. John Vilma wants to see evidence. Obviously we're going to see, appeals happen there, how that all plays out. There's just, there's so many twists and turns to this thing. We will be hearing about this, I got a feeling, for a long time before we have an end result.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Joe Fitz says, no, I didn't say that. And everybody's got a side to the story, but it just continues, and frankly, I wish it would all go away. I think a lot of people do, but it's not going to anytime soon, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a busy weekend. We hope you'll get out and check out the state baseball tournament out at Tulane this weekend and follow our live blog. We'll have it from start to finish at sportsnola.com, covering every game all over the state, not just the 5A, but 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A, Class B, and Class C as well. You'll want to follow it all at sportsnola.com. Lenny, it's been a pleasure.
And one last thing, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there this weekend.
I'm glad you remembered that. You saved me. Nice deal. This has been your first NBC Weekend Preview for SportsNola.com. And for Lenny Vangilder, I'm Ken Trahan.